Breaking news from Queer News Tonight. Let's queer up the road to Stonewall. Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride is here. What do you need to know? The time has come once again as the gayest place on planet Earth gets even more gay. It's time for the Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade and Street Festival this Saturday, June 18th. The event is presented by Hotspots Magazine and the Happening Out Television Network as part of our nonprofit 501c3 mission of community support. The event consists of a street fair featuring more than 150 nonprofit organizations, businesses, and the very best in food and beverages and much more from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the world-famous Wilton Drive. And of special note, there is the Twilight Parade at 7 p.m. with more than 100 entries and floats. Major sponsors that help make this happen include the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, Al Hendrickson Toyota, Visit Lauderdale, Absolute, Merrill Lynch, Spirit Airlines, Wells Fargo, and so many more of our community partners. The event will feature 7 stages of entertainment, and Queer News Tonight will be broadcasting the entire parade live and on demand on YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Apple Television, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV. The parade will also feature Mr. and Miss Stonewall Pride 2021, Javier Rivera and Shasta McNasty, as well as the newly crowned Mr. and Miss Stonewall Pride 2022, William LePage and Aaliyah J. Grand marshals for the parade are the very well-known Misty Eyes and Emmy-winning NBC anchor Steve McLaughlin. The event is family-friendly and is going to feature 40,000 of your newest friends and chosen family on Wilton Drive. 1 mile, endless possibilities. Some of the many entertainment offerings include the Synergy Twins, who will be performing on their violins from the rooftop of the pub on the drive. There's a party in the Alibi parking lot on the Alibi stage. And there's a special performance at Hunter's Nightclub stage by Carmeet from the Pussycat Dolls. And of course, top DJs spinning at the Manors dance stage. Also, you won't want to miss the Juneteenth flash mob at 5:45 p.m. in front of the Black Excellence stage. Parking, remember, for the event is limited, so rideshare is highly recommended. And for more information, pick up this year's Pride Guide at your favorite business, or you can visit stonewallpride.lgbt. Well, you know, after the last 3 years, doesn't that sound exciting? I can't wait for Pride to come back to Wilton Manors and Fort Lauderdale, here in Central Fort Lauderdale. What do y'all think? Excited?
So excited. 3 more days to go, right? That's it? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Oh my God, I'm so excited. They have like 7, 8 stages out. Like they are like pulling no punches. We're like, we're making up for anything that we haven't been able to do in the last couple of years. We're making up for it this Saturday at Stonewall.
And I'm sorry, and what I love about, it's not called the main stage, it's called Center Stage, and that's where we'll all be broadcasting the parade from, at its traditional spot at 6th, across from Alibi and Hunters. But it's also the Black Excellence stage, which is done this year as a nod to Juneteenth, which of course is marked the next day on Sunday. So I really love that they're trying to do diverse programming. There's going to be a girls stage by Bubbles and Pearls, and there's going to be, I believe, a Latina stage down closer to the north end of the drive. So there's just so much that's in the works. I'm so excited for it.
Oh, and that flash mob is going to be awesome too.
And Jameer Baptiste from Hotspots is the coordinator for it. And
he could dance like crazy.
Really
he had the audacity to go, Faye, you and the team is going to show him. You guys are going to join us, right, for the flash mob on Saturday? I'm like, JB, I love you, but no, bro. I'm the only brown person I know with no rhythm. You don't want me on there.
And white boys not getting off the stage to go down and do that.
And did we remember that it's 104 degrees? Jameer, I love you, but no, Bob.
Right,
and there is good weather predicted, right? There's good weather.
Good weather.
And it is the cutest parade. It's like the cutest adorable little parade. It really is.
Little, they're
Wait, you make it sound like Smurfs are going to be marching down Wilton Drive.
I'm coming from Chicago.
The
Where
guy
it's
from
Was that a
Chicago.
stab?
a 10-hour
Was that
parade.
a
Yes.
sexual reference?
It is.
No, I just love it. It's like if I could pick it up and hug it, I would. It's so cute.
As somebody who has been to Chicago Pride,
Yes.
7 stages, dude. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
7 stages.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's interesting to me, as we just reported, Faye and I are going to be broadcasting the parade live
Yep.
on Apple and Roku and other platforms. But it's going to be interesting because in that block of just how much is going on, we're on the main stage at 6th and Wilton Drive. To just on one side of us, on the rooftop at the pub, is going to be the Synergy Twins,
Yes.
just blowing us out with those violins. Directly across the street is the street party with Alibi and what they have on the stage. And then a damn pussycat doll is directly across from me at the Hunter stage. And that's all in one block.
Yep.
Those 4 stages in one block.
Yep.
Yeah, there's so much excitement that's going on that even in my like text groups with my friends, everyone's talking about, oh, what are you wearing on Saturday? And I'm like, has this become like the Met Gala for
Oh,
like
wow.
the gays? Like, what do you mean? What am I wearing on Saturday?
Oh.
Like, which tank top are you wearing?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
The correct answer to that is as little as possible.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
yes, yes. And I love that they're also incorporating last year's Grand Marshal and last year's Mr. and Miss Stonewall because they weren't able to ride in the parade last year. So they'll be part of this year's parade as well. And another big shout out going out to Aaliyah J. Girl, you turned it out yesterday. I was one of
You
the
were a
judges.
judge last
I was a
night.
judge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Misty Eyes. Misty Eyes. And Aaliyah J. was just
Wait,
incredible.
did she steal your branding, Misty? Right?
Right? Wait a minute, Misty. We got to talk about that.
That's
Wait.
what I immediately thought. Oh, branding snatch. There we go.
I'm kind of scared of her. I would let her snatch whatever she wants from me.
And,
though.
and I wanted to do that shout out. This week you interviewed Misty.
Yes.
And it was incredible in what she talked about in her history and how appropriate it's interesting to me. Bill Maher was so critical of the trans representation of New York Pride that's coming up at the end of the month. Misty is selected as a Grand Marshal at Wilton Manors, and everybody goes, yay! It's completely different. South Florida is completely different. And Steve McLaughlin, I met him at the Gay Men's Chorus Gala
He's a
last
cutie.
month.
He's a cutie, Al.
Wait. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, you
he-
noticed. Like
oh.
if you didn't notice, look who I'm talking
Oh,
to.
he's got my barometer rising.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Exactly. There we go. You can always count on John taking it in that direction. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That too, right? Well, it's going to be fantastic. You don't want to miss Stonewall Pride. We haven't had this, we had the situation last year, and it was a tragic event. I was on the stage with you. We all worried about what the possibilities of that was. And
We got pulled out with a big old hook. Get off the stage!
yeah. And that's it at most of Faye's performances.
Kinda
And we were there, and there was that. And then the year before that, there was this little thing called
COVID.
And then the year before that, there was this little thing called COVID. So, this is a very triumphant return for the parade and the festival. We're all looking forward to it. We wish everyone all the luck, and you want to be sure and come out. It's likely going to be one of the best celebrations Wilton Manors in Fort Lauderdale has ever seen. So, we want to welcome you to a special Pride edition of Queer News Tonight. All the stories that we're doing tonight are about Pride and Pride Month. Not only here in South Florida, but all over America. The world's first and only LGBT daily evening news is Queer News Tonight. And it is time to queer up that news. It is 8 p.m. Wednesday, June 15th, 2022, and we are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight with Al Ferguson.
Hola, happy Pride! Thank you for joining Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens, you will see it. Queer News Tonight is supported by viewers like you. We are part of the partnership between Happening Out Television Network and Hotspots Magazine. Hotspots is celebrating 36 years of the LGBTQ plus experience. We bring you the best of LGBTQ plus news, entertainment, and support of our community.
I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, Al Ferguson. Let's welcome anchor FayWhat. No, I'm sorry, Misty. Wait.
Wait, what?
She is a radio and television personality and has a popular blog and YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. She's a hostess and MC for many South Florida events, an animal advocate, and owner of Faye's Fur Family. Also, make sure to catch the FayWhat Show, the first LGBTQ plus morning show, Mondays at 9 a.m. Eastern, online or, of course, your smart television. Good evening, Faye.
Good evening, everyone. So happy to be here. And like we spoke about before, make sure you check out the FayWhat Show, okay? If you didn't get to watch it on Monday, watch it whenever you have a chance to. Misty Eyes was just incredible. It was her first time in bed with the lesbians. So she says.
Yeah. And also, you got in bed with not just a lesbian. Damien was in bed.
Yes, he was.
I just have to pull back.
Yes, he was, little cutie. All right, let's welcome anchor John Hayden. John's been a journalist for 27 years and now works for several South Florida outlets, including SFGN as community editor, covering politics, arts, and philanthropic organizations. Much of his career was spent as a celebrity journalist covering the stupidity and scandals of Hollywood. John's interviewed nearly every big name in TV, movies, and music, and once spent in the evening watching a movie with Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II. God save the Queen. Welcome, John.
Thank you so much. I'm afraid I invited her. The Queen will not be able to make it this weekend, but we wish her the best. And I know we're all getting very excited about Pride. There's also another thing that's sort of hanging as a shadow over us right now, and that's monkeypox. It is a very few number of cases, but they're almost all affecting gay men. And there's going to be a town hall to separate the facts from panic-induced fiction tomorrow night at the Pride Center at 6:30. So please watch it online, come in person if you can. It's really important that we get ahead of this before it becomes a major story. And on that, let's welcome anchor Kal Gajraj. Kal is a communications executive and adjunct professor. He also was honored with a Bronze Telly Award for his work as an anchor with something called the Happening Out Television Network. Congrats and good evening, Kal.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. It's really cool. This honor, actually, there was over 12,000 entries from all 50 states in 5 continents, and we won as a show.
Yeah.
So I share that with all of you guys here. So congratulations to everyone.
And to you.
Thank you so much. So
yeah, let me see the
really
statue. You're not going to get it back.
Yeah.
It's just a paperweight. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I love it. So thank you so much to the Telly Awards. Let's welcome anchor Gregg Shapiro, an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Gregg is the author of 8 books, including his last, Fear of Muses, an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and music reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ+ and mainstream publications and websites. His movie review column called Screensaver can be found in South Florida Gay News, San Francisco's Bay Area Reporter, RottenTomatoes.com, and more. Good evening, Gregg.
Good evening, happy Pride, and happy National Smile Power Day.
Wow.
Smile Power?
Smile
Do you
Power.
think he makes these up?
I do.
I'm starting to
sometimes
think that he
really
does.
think he does.
No, I'm not that creative. We
Yes,
are the
he is.
reporters for Queer News Tonight. And this evening, we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ+ community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the Queer News for today, Wednesday, June 15th.
Thank you, Gregg. Let's begin by queering up business. Here's how brands can get Pride right in 2023. Queer News Tonight has reported several times in past weeks of companies that miss the mark when it comes to celebrating Pride. What can companies do to stop from being called out for rainbow capitalism? Well, for starters, ask. Involving members of the LGBTQ+ community in your marketing strategies can help prevent cringe-worthy ads like the Austrian Pride Whopper ad or Walmart's Pride ice cream. Also, companies should be consistent. Pride is a celebration, but it's also about protesting conformity and fight for visibility. Companies should advertise and offer initiatives to help that goal all year round. Perhaps most importantly, companies need to stop slapping rainbows on everything in June while donating to anti-LGBTQ+ politicians and causes for the rest of the year.
That's the bullseye.
It really is, right? It's just like, come on, just make us part of your team. Let us be a consultant. And then things like what happened in Austria, if you guys don't remember, at home, they tried to make a top burger and a bottom burger with 2 buns. I mean, it was just a cluster F.
You know,
Silly.
when you do a marketing campaign that you have to explain why you're doing the marketing, and the straight community considers one thing and the gay community gets it completely wrong, while the straight community goes, oh, I got it, we're talking about gender, and the gay community is going,
What?
What?
Yeah.
Yes, listen, it's like John's jokes. If you have to explain them, they're not funny. You know what I mean?
Exactly it.
Well, and be queer all year round is a good motto. And also, I have noticed, even before Pride, that there have been a lot more same-gender couples in print ads, in TV commercials. Just pump it up a little bit. Turn up the volume on that a little.
You know, I would rather gnaw off my left arm than be contrarian. However,
Here we go.
Here we go.
first, a lot of places do celebrate us all year round. Like Stoli Vodka does their Harvey Milk Pride bottle in May.
Can I interrupt just
Yes.
really quickly? Do you ever drink vodka?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying not to, but much
Why Stoli does it all year?
much to my detriment. I am
right?
trying to drink much
Target
less.
demographic.
Right.
But also, let's just celebrate that we're standing out. Because, I mean, we all lament the first weekend of October when everyone from Target to Home Depot is putting up their Christmas decorations to sell that. So let's just make them, I agree with the political points and everything, but let's face it, too much, the people will become tone deaf to it. So I love it. Just to shout and be out and loud as proud as we can in June.
I don't think we have too much. I don't. I think that some of these companies maybe should get partnerships. Get partnerships with organizations that support us, like do Walmart and SunServe, or Target and the Trevor Project. Then you know you've got the right backing and the right organization standing
Because
next
Trevor
to you.
Project's going to help you make sure you get it right.
And do it right,
If
yes.
they put their name on it, even though they're a recipient or the HRC, they're going to get it
Exactly.
I have noticed that a lot of retailers this year are supporting those types of organizations where we didn't see that before. Like you said, there's a lot of representation that's happening in their marketing and advertising campaigns.
I'm curious. I apologize for interrupting, but I'm curious of. Do y'all think we've been reporting on rainbow capitalism for months now? We're halfway through Pride Month. Is a bad business marketing campaign for an American business for Pride Month still a good thing? Just the visibility in and of itself, even if they fumble. Is ice cream still good because they're talking about it? Is a Whopper with 2 top buns or 2 bottom buns still good because
I think that
they're
was good
talking
enough in
about it?
2007.
Yeah.
I think we need
Come
more
a
now.
long way.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we get butthurt, and pun intended. You know, and we get butthurt when you like make fun of us, you know, and that's kind of making fun of us. A Pride ice cream is just a little too much, I think.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, we move on and queer up the USA view. Disturbing trend of targeting Pride events following months of anti-LGBTQ rhetoric from right-wing media. Right-wing media has found a new focus for the white nationalist viewers on Twitter in an account called Libs of TikTok. The account was originally on the TikTok platform, but moved to Twitter after being banned in 2020. The page promotes anti-LGBTQ plus videos and content and has been defended by Elon Musk after the creators received threats from people who don't agree with it. It has also been retweeted by media personalities like Joe Rogan, Meghan McCain. Their content has also been used on air by Tucker Carlson, Jesse Waters, Laura Ingraham, and other Fox personalities to feature anti-transgender views. After Libs of TikTok posted about a San Francisco area library hosting a drag story hour, the event was stormed by members of the group Proud Boys. They also tweeted about an event in Idaho called Pride in the Park that made headlines when 31 members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front were arrested while on their way to riot at the event. And this has been a story that's been snowballing for several months now. Wilton Manors City Commission had their final meeting before Pride last night, and I attended. I talked with the Assistant Chief of Police, and I asked him directly, I said, have there been threats like the one that was
West Palm.
in West Palm a couple of weeks ago? And he said there have been no direct threats made against this event, but they're continuing to monitor it. But there's a ton of chatter out there. And the key is to be able to discern what is chatter and what is not. The threat in West Palm Beach had very specific threats. it's going to be very difficult, and the Palm Beach thing involved the FBI, 3 police departments, and a SWAT team and undercover agents out in the area. I can tell you that for our security, they have got they've got blockades that are anti-big vehicles. So like these Patriot Front people were all in a U-Haul that were planning that we're going to storm the event in Idaho. We have water barricades and things like that. There are 13 cross sections, places of entrance and egress for our Wilton Stonewall Pride. Every single one, both sides of Wilton Drive will be monitored and patrolled by security, as well as having all these barricades. They're doing what they can, and hopefully it will be a very safe weekend.
Well, these right-wing people are screaming hate, and you're going to think that nobody's listening? Of course they're listening. And Meghan McCain, I want to like you. Girl, what is wrong with you? What are you doing retweeting this garbage of these people?
You know, interesting on McCain. I participated in the Diversity Honors event where she was honored for her support of the LGBTQ community. And from that, which I believe was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, it just seems to, she's gotten worse and worse and worse. Her father's passing, and she's gone off the rails in many ways. I have to say to you, broadly, shame on Twitter. And the reason is because Elon Musk is doing this. I think he's having dramatic influence in decision making, even though he doesn't own it. He's got $1 billion if he withdraws from the offer on what happens there. But shame on Twitter for allowing this kind of hate speech. Because at the end of the day, for me, and I've told this story so many times, I apologize, but I'm going to tell the same story again. I always try to apply a standard on LGBT that if you remove the LGBT and inserted, what conclusion would you come to? If you had the kind of threats that we would hear from Coeur d'Alene or this drag queen story hour issue in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that was Black, it would be unquestionably a hate crime. If you used N-word relation of storming a library and went into the library and spoke in that way, that would be a hate crime. If you stormed a Jewish synagogue at a service doing anti-Semitic chants or signs, that would be a hate crime, and the FBI would get involved in it. It seems to me that's exactly what we're watching. And for Twitter to go free speech, that's not true. We don't have that standard of absolute free speech. You can't yell in a fire. And as it relates to minority issues like Black and Jewish, you cannot do that. Twitter, you just are going far too far, and you are helping to enable a January 6th type of event that is potential in the future.
And it's really it's on us. We have to be extra vigilant this weekend. I mean, I'm vigilant. I'm always looking over my shoulder anyway. But this weekend, we have to really be on guard.
See something, say something.
Absolutely.
And you know, that's a great point, because Coeur d'Alene, I've been to Coeur d'Alene in Idaho. It's a beautiful community. This was, for all intents and purposes, a picnic in a park. It's a small town. That was their Pride Festival. And it was disrupted of what these white nationalists coming from 12 states. Why in the world would you come from Tennessee to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, to disrupt a picnic, which is what they did? They all gathered in a U-Haul truck like they were the Keystone Cops or clowns at the Ringling Circus that are going to pour out of the U-Haul. That was all disrupted by one person who called 911 and said, "These people look very strange to me. It looks like an army." She saw no guns, and as far as we know, there were no guns present, but it looks strange to me. That tip led to these arrests.
And that's enough. If
That's
you think
enough.
it's just out of context, or you just make, women, we got that sixth sense, right? When you sit on your uncle's lap and it's a little weird, right? That sixth sense, okay? If you have that sixth sense about anything going on, tell somebody. That's it.
That's it.
And who would have thought that drag shows would get so much publicity on Fox News? I think it's great. So this weekend for Father's Day or Juneteenth, look up your local drag show and take your dad to a drag show. I'm sure he'll love it.
We reported, by the way, on Queer News Tonight last night, Laura Ingraham did a story 2 nights ago on RuPaul's Drag Race, on Laura Ingraham talking about this new drag queen that was on the show, Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Laura, for helping to promote RuPaul's Drag Race.
Absolutely.
We love it.
And now it's time to queer up gaming. Microsoft puts pride in your hands with a new Xbox controller. Microsoft is putting the gay in gamer with a new controller for their Xbox video game console. It is available through the Xbox Design Lab that allows you to create custom controllers and takes the form of one of their custom skins that you can choose. In addition to the skin that features flags for all parts of the LGBTQ+ community, you can customize the other parts of the controller, such as button colors and the base color for the back of the controller. Last year, Xbox had released a series of limited edition controllers for Pride after crowds clamored for more. This year, the company chose that option so that everyone could access it. One Twitter user seemed unhappy with the controller, tweeting, quote, "No one asked for this," end quote. Xbox was quick to reply with, quote, "And no one asked you to reply, but here we are," end quote. I think this is incredible. I think growing up, I played a ton of video games, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I think we didn't have this when we were growing up, and I think in the age that we are now with customization and customizing your cell phone cases and sunglasses and everything, I think this is just really cool for gay gamers.
Yeah, no.
Do you think
really
the other game companies will follow suit, though?
Absolutely.
But
You
think
they
about the
will?
money that Xbox is going to make off this, Greg. They're going to make billions, okay? And I read somewhere that they only gave LGBTQ+ organizations like 150 grand last year, okay? Xbox, let's go. Microsoft, you're making billions off us. Come on.
Games today are so complicated. All those buttons and everything. Call me old-fashioned, but I'll just stick to a basic joystick.
How did I know he was going to say joystick?
You're gonna stick to Duck Hunt.
Pong.
In the 1990s, in the height of when I read this story, I'm not a gamer, but in the 1990s, ACT UP, in the 80s too, but especially in the 90s, in the peak of the AIDS epidemic, the protest chant in the queerest of our communities, especially in New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, is "We're here, we're queer, get used to it." That's what I thought of again in this story. Because like nobody asked for this, we don't have to ask. It should be provided because everyone gets to be represented in whatever way that they want to be represented. If you want a Star of David to represent your faith, you get it. If you want something that represents the colors of Juneteenth, you should be able to get it. And that does not harm anyone else, and it does not take anything away from you. The person that made that comment in the thread, Xbox's reply is absolute genius. We didn't ask you because your opinion was not important to us, because we can do what we want. And that is really the whole point of this. Who cares about Xbox? You get to get what you want if you want it. And we can all live in that environment.
He's probably catfishing as a 13-year-old girl in some chat room somewhere.
Well, I was going to say, or he sent that message from his mom's basement.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
Wait, is John in the basement? Oh no, he's here at the table.
And now,
We don't have basements here.
He's in the attic. We all know.
and now we queer up business. New Rainbow Capitalism Pride campaigns to praise. Pride Month is half over, and the verdict is in. A lot of companies have no idea what they are doing when it comes to actually supporting the LGBTQ+ community. Luckily, there are some great winners in this year's bunch of corporations trying to cash in on Pride. For example, Penguin Random House is publishing their first ever zine called Pride in Your Words, featuring passages, interviews, and even coloring sheets from queer writers' works. Also, until the end of the month, and the end of Pride Month, 15% of Penguin Random House net proceeds will go to the Trevor Project, LGBTQ Saves, and the Zebra Coalition. Hulu is taking a page from the Happening Out Television Network's book with their Pride Never Stops series as they stream live Pride parades. On June 12th, they've streamed LA Pride, and on June 26th, they will stream NYC Pride from noon to 3 p.m. Shoe brand Vans, which I'm wearing tonight, will be showcasing queer creators all year as part of their These Projects Are Ads for Creativity campaign. Shaving brands Harry's and Flamingo are questioning their own gender-based brands with the new Hair is Hair campaign that features photos from trans photographer Leah Clay Miller and a new gender-inclusive shaving set with proceeds that go to the Trevor Project.
You know, I don't know about, I don't want to speak for you, Greg, but I will. Greg and I are both open to shaving sponsors, so please feel free to send some product our way, and we'll be good to go.
For sure.
Oh, you know what I'm loving is all the TV programming like happening out, doing this Saturday's parade at Stonewall, why Hulu doing New York's parade, like. I never thought in our lifetime we'd be able to see our parades on broadcast TV. Like, how cool is that?
I even saw that on Lifetime and some other networks. They're streaming like all the Golden Girls, but all of like the shows that
all the gay
contain
ones,
LGBT content, which I think is really cool. But I don't understand why we continue to miss this mark, but the amount of gays that are in advertising agencies out there, you know, why we continue to do this. I was really actually disappointed in Skittles. I don't know if anyone has seen their campaign. So everyone knows that they're famous for, you know, tasting the rainbow. So for Pride Month, they actually decided to get rid of all of their colors. And it's just
white.
It's just white and black. Yeah. It's just a white. And I actually found out because at my company for Pride Month we were doing giving giveaways and stuff like that. So we ordered a ton of Skittles. They all came.
You got a bunch of white Skittles? What are you gonna do with a bunch of white
and I'm
Skittles?
like, we did it because of that. I was like, what is wrong with them? Like, I don't understand that. So to me, I think that missed the mark.
That's
Well,
how I
they
feel.
said that they wanted
disappointing.
to give the rainbow to the gays for the month. So they were
very
really
interesting.
doing it.
That's your
That's
But
your
if you
reaction.
have to
Yeah.
explain it, but if thank you, you have to explain it, then
Okay,
no.
it's not my marketing campaign. I'm just the one explaining
Exactly.
it. You know, I'd like to touch back on Hulu for a second as well. The third season of Love Victor dropped this week, based on the movie Love Simon from 2018.
Final season, season 3.
Right. It is on Hulu. Do you know where else it is? Disney Plus.
Really?
They are carrying, because Hulu is basically owned by
They're
ABC
owned,
Disney.
right.
But they are cross-platforming it to Disney, which I found to be, I was shocked when I read the blurb this morning.
And exactly why Ron DeSantis is doing what he does to Disney. You know, one other platform that I want to shout out that has done an outstanding job this year, they've done it for a long time, but they've put their money, but more importantly, they've put their words where their mouth is, and that is NBC Universal. NBC Universal has a campaign going, Pride is Universal, and it's across all their platform brands. And they have done this incredibly beautiful imaging of Pride as Universal. And they're doing programming and special programming across all of the platforms. As example, this morning they did a story in the Today Show where one of their lead anchors went to the University of Central Florida and a very good Pride Center at UCF. Yay, go Knights, because I'm a UCF Knight. And they interviewed 5 people in the Pride Center, and one was a girl for L, one was a girl for B, one was a boy for G, one was for a trans person, and one was identified as queer. I'm non-binary and queer. So they had all 5 of the representation and talked about their experience. And what happened is they focused on that. Gallup is reporting 7% of the population. Now, we reported that like 9 months ago at Queer News Tonight, but NBC is reporting it today. But they're saying in the new reporting what's going on, because Gen Zers, it's 1 out of 5, 20% in new statistics say that they're identifying as LGBTQ. And what the conclusion was of the Gen Zers in doing it, which is 18 to 24, is that there is a freedom and lack of fear. And as a result, that is probably much more representative than where it was, and they reported 10 years ago, it was 3.5%. Now, today, Gallup says 7%, but Gen Zers say it's 20. Does that mean in our age groups it's really 20%, but we couldn't feel like we could be authentic in who we are? The entire point of NBC doing a story like that in primetime morning mom show, and Al watching, is that it's okay. And the mere fact that they would put their words behind that to talk about it's okay is such dramatic progress. And it gives me hope, because Ron DeSantis and Governor Abbott can't stand up against that. They can fight and fight and fight, but they're going to lose because of campaigns like Pride is Universal. Congratulations, NBC and Universal. You've done an outstanding job for our community.
I'm still stuck on the Skittles. Which two anchors on your screen could be the white Skittles? You pick them out. Next,
I was going to say I'm a Hershey Kiss.
Yes, you are, Poppy. Next, we will report on our partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church right here in Fort Lauderdale. We're broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine and supporting that partnership. Happening Out Television Network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ plus religious live broadcast in the world, as more than 30,000 watch every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Watch this.
Iglesias, a top 16 contestant on NBC's The Voice. The music industry is a variety of styles, types, and rhythms, and that is what fills our lives. That's why I understand diversity is so incredibly important in our LGBTQ community. And that's why Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Second ID, honey.
Oh, I love Karina Iglesias. Happy Pride. So that's today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show. Is our community important to you?
Then help us by liking and subscribing. Ring the bell for updates. Share the news with your friends and family.
Host this broadcast of the many groups you're a member of. Tonight's stories about our community deserve your attention of your family and friends.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support.
And if our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these type of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. And that is the passion of the Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight. I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including FayWhat, John Hayden, Kal Gajraj, and Gregg Shapiro, we will see you daily at 8 p.m. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus